Hey everybody, I want to share a quick story with you about a roommate that I had in the hospital who saw the good in everything. So, this roommate was blind in both eyes and he grew up that way, and he just seemed to have the most optimistic and positive spirit and attitude about him, and he just really set the foundation for my recovery. And an example of it was one day we would actually went on a hunger strike in the hospital because the food was so nasty, and I ended up going 40 pounds underweight. I don't know if that was a result of the hunger strike. I doubt it was, or just part of my traumatic injury and not eating enough. I think that was the reason why. But the food was so gross that I refused to eat anything and everything. They would serve us canned, what was it, fish? Canned fish and carrots. That was so gross that nobody would eat it. And then also the food was so bad they would throw the leftover food to the cats, and the cats wouldn't eat it either. And so every time it was time for lunch, I was like always complaining, and this guy was always like, "Oh, that is so nice that they're bringing us food because if they didn't bring us any food, we wouldn't have anything to eat at all." And he was just very, very grateful that we were getting food, even though it was nasty. And he began telling me stories. I started asking him questions about him growing up, and he went blind when he was very, very young. It was a result of a firecracker blowing up in his face, and as a result of it blowing up in his face, he lost his eyesight in both eyes at around 6 years old. And I asked him what his life was like growing up, and he told me that he had the best life growing up. He had no complaints about anything, and he told me that he didn't let the fact that he went blind when he was young upset him at all. He said that he still went to bars, nightclubs, and lived a normal life like he wasn't blind, like nothing happened at all, and it was really good for him. So I was watching an example is I was watching TV, and I was wondering, how does he deal with watching TV when I'm watching television and he can't watch it. And he was saying that he was very grateful that I was able to watch TV and I was able to find enjoyment out of it, even though he couldn't. And he was just very grateful that there were people alive in the world who could see the television and enjoy it. And he was grateful that his hearing was good because he could at least imagine what was going on in his mind. So that was just a story that I remembered very clearly about this very early on in my recovery with this roommate that I had in the hospital, and it just really set my recovery off in a positive. It just set a very solid foundation as far as positivity goes and moving forward in my recovery, because it taught me how to uh, see the good in everything. So thank you for listening, and take care.